What about you?
Ditto.
Talk to you later.
So weird.
Bye.
Hey, the rain.
If you're transferring souls,
No more rain.
yay! I bet we can talk to the dude, the crystal skull.
Fine. But if the rain comes back, I'm gonna be upset.
Well, maybe the rain's gone. You don't know. When you transferred your soul that time.
Bum.
Oh, my bad.
Yes?
How did Bruno die, if you don't mind my asking?
Damn, Nancy.
Just dropped dead in the front hallway. I mean, the guy was 95 years old. Here, check it out.
75-year-old people don't die.
Myocardial infarction. That's doctor speak for heart attack.
Attending physician Dr. Gilbert
good, John.
Buford,
We're gonna add the number for you.
504-555-9970. Was that Bruno's doctor?
And his best friend, or so I'm told. I've never met him.
Interesting keychain.
That's one of Uncle Bruno's glass eyes. It's the one he was wearing when he died.
Yeah, we've got
How
like 5.
Nice.
Anything else?
I'll let you get back to work.
Yeah. Show him our
Sounds good.
collection, John.
Where did he... Oh, I can't access them?
Not yet, no.
Well...
No, you know you can't do it in there. Maybe we can get the rain to stop again.
This is Dr. Gilbert Buford's answering service. How may I help you?
Answering service.
I need to talk to Dr. Buford. Could you maybe give me a number where I can reach him?
No, ma'am, I cannot. Is this an emergency?
Sort of. I mean, it's not a medical emergency. See, I'm only going to be in town for a short time, and Dr. Buford and I have this mutual friend who died recently, and I just really need to talk to him about it.
Need some consoling, huh?
Yes, I need some consoling. That's it
Yes!
exactly.
That makes me very happy that you said
Tell
that.
you what, it's against the rules to give you his phone number, but I can tell you that now that he's all but retired, Dr. Buford spends most of his
God
evenings
damn it.
at his favorite gumbo stand down in the French Quarter. If you really need to talk to him, you can probably find him there.
Great. Do you know the address?
It's at the corner of Rampart and Domain.
So
Did you say
convenient.
Rampart and Domain?
I did indeed. Granny Pumpkin's Cajun Cooking. They make some darn fine gumbo.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and I'm truly sorry about your loss.
My loss?
Oh,
That
Nancy.
mutual friend of yours and Dr. Buford's.
Oh, right.
All right.
Thank you. That's
I was
very
very
kind
sad.
of you. Bye.
You know what you must do.
Yeah.
Now I know why we're stalking that black guy, though.
Man, that's...
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, Bess. It's me.
So what's been happening? Tell me everything.
Well, let's see. Since the last time we talked, I was just about getting ready.
Interesting stuff.
But the reason I called is, I need you to talk to this doctor named Gilbert Buford, who,
Right
as it turns
there.
out, likes to hang out at
Oh,
a gumbo
damn it.
stand called Granny Pumpkin's Cajun Cookin', which should be right across from our hotel.
You just want me to talk to him? That's it? Nothing nefarious? No black ops stuff?
Oh, yeah, I also
He
need
was
to abduct
Gilbert's
him.
doctor,
Yeah.
and apparently his
No,
best
just
friend,
ask
too.
him if his best friend
I
was
just
murdered.
need for you to see
Whatever,
if you think
Bess.
there was anything weird about the way Bruno died.
What do you mean by weird?
I mean, I kind of think maybe Bruno was murdered.
Murdered? By whom?
It's the
That's what I'm
elves.
trying to figure out. Everyone's a suspect at this point.
Including this Gilbert Buford guy?
Well,
Great, I'm gonna be chatting up Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, open
oh,
with that,
I'm sure the
Bess.
guy's fine.
Hi, did you murder a man?
Just in case.
Well,
I
I
find
can see the
people who
gumbo
murder
stand
other
from
men
our
really
balcony.
attractive.
He's the guy that's sitting down there. I guess he looks harmless. Okay, I'll go talk to him.
Thanks, Bess. Let me know what happens.
Cheerio.
Jump off the balcony again, Bess.
Why, hello, young lady. How kind of you to grace an old man with your lovely presence.
Which one? I'm freaking out here.
I don't know.
Introductions first.
My
I'm
name's
polite.
Beth Marvin.
Oh, good,
I'm
you giggled.
looking for Dr.
Yes.
Gilbert Buford.
Well, it's a pleasure to report that I am he.
Do you mind if I
We're gonna
join you?
flirt.
Of
Good old
course
man.
not. A little lively discourse would brighten this gloomy evening considerably. This here is my favorite spot in the whole city. Delicious gumbo,
Oh,
pleasing view.
this is wrong.
Particularly now, I might add.
Yeah. Quick.
I'd
Open your
like to
bra.
ask you some questions about Bruno Bollet, if that's okay.
I'd
Yeah, let's
prefer
talk about your
subject
dead
matter
friend.
of
Been
a
a snap,
happier
Bess.
nature, but I do not want to seem inhospitable, so what is it you want to know?
Well, that would be awkward, so we'll do
Is
this
there
one.
any doubt in your mind as to how Dr.
That
Bollet
one's less
died?
awkward, do you?
He died
Yes.
of a myocardial infarction, most likely caused by age-related atherosclerosis. Dying of a heart attack is all too common for people who are socially isolated, and Bruno Bollet had most certainly become that.
He was hard to get along with?
Fact is, while socializing with my fellow man, particularly with pretty young women such as yourself, has always been a source of pleasure for me, Bruno was just the opposite. Unfortunately, the older he got, the more numerous his idiosyncrasies became, and the less concerned about their negative effect upon others he became.
Where was Dr. Bollet when he had his MI?
In the foyer of his house, just inside the front door. In fact, I hadn't seen him for a while, so I picked that day to pay him a visit. I walked up to the front door, found it unlocked as usual, opened it, and there he was, lying on the floor in obvious distress. The next thing I know, his housekeeper came running in and started shrieking and carrying on, until finally I sent her out of the room so she could summon an ambulance, and I could once again hear myself think. Well, let's see. Then I knelt down and saw that he wasn't breathing. So I pulled him away from the doorway so I'd have more room to work on him, and began chest compressions. I continued until the medics arrived, but nothing they did made a difference either.
Was Dr. Bollet unconscious the whole time?
Yes, he was.
Can you remember anything that might indicate what he was doing by the front door? I mean, had he just come in from a walk? Was he wearing a hat?
What?
Was he holding anything? Had he dropped something? An umbrella?
Come on, an
Sunglasses?
Crystal Skull?
Wait a minute. Why, yes. Yes, he was holding something. A piece of paper. And on the floor next to him was an envelope. He must have collapsed while reading a letter.
Oh, what's been that
Do you know what
answer?
happened to it?
So boring,
Now,
it
I
killed him.
know the letter was no longer in Bruno's hand when the paramedics arrived, so perhaps he released the letter when I moved him. And yet, I do not recall seeing it on the floor when they wheeled him out the
housekeeper?
door. Iggy.
What's icky?
Iggy.
Oh, the...
Iggy
Yeah.
is an iguana
Oh,
Bruno befriended, then turned loose in his home. It soon developed the annoying habit of stealing paper and stockpiling it in the vent system.
Are you saying an iguana made off with the letter Bruno had been reading?
It would not have been the first time a missing document ended up in Iggy's possession. Renee would periodically call me saying the lizard had absconded with one of Bruno's prescriptions and would I please write her up a replacement. In any case, Bruno once told me he was training Iggy. Said he taught Iggy to retrieve the things it had stolen.
Huh. How do we do that?
I don't know.
Alright, we're going to accuse Renee of murder.
Well, you know, it's always a good way to do it. Come on, John, just
Did
pick
they
one.
do an autopsy on Dr. Bollet?
Just curious.
No. Given Bruno's advanced age and the absence of any indication of foul play, an autopsy was deemed unnecessary, and the body was cremated according to Bruno's wishes.
Did Dr. Bollet ever say anything to you about owning a crystal skull?
Why, yes. Yes, he did. In fact, he showed it to me once. Said it had magical powers. Said owning it was going to allow him to live forever. I thought it was utter nonsense and told him so. Well, he didn't appreciate that at all. Refused to talk to me for a full 2 weeks.
What'd the skull look like?
It was quite beautiful, actually. Life-size, perfect in form and clarity, like a diamond almost. Tell me, Miss Bess, what do you know about that crystal skull?
This friend of mine, who is also a friend of Henry Bollet, you know, Dr. Bollet's great-nephew, Anyway, while she was visiting Henry, she saw this book in Bruno's library about the legendary crystal skulls and was kind of intrigued and thought that since Henry said that you were pretty much Bruno's only friend, maybe Bruno had said something to you about it, and as it turns out, he had. That's all I know.
I see. Well, much as I'd like to believe that skull holds the key to immortality, I'm afraid Bruno's passing proves it's worthless. Although it would make an attractive paperweight, as I recall. Tell your friend not to give it another thought.
Yes, he murdered his friend for the paperweight.
Do you think it's possible that Renee caused Dr. Bolet's death by, say, hoarding the pills from those missing prescriptions and giving them to him all at once?
No. Had he died of an overdose of the medications I had prescribed, the manner of his death would have been quite different. But he died of a heart attack. Of that, I am certain. However, I know for a fact that Renee is deeply involved in the practice of hoodoo. And as Bruno's housekeeper, she had ample opportunity to use it against my poor old friend.
You mean hoodoo really works?
Young lady, never, ever underestimate the power of suggestion. If a person believes in something, even on a subconscious level, fantasy can easily become fact. And who knows what rubbish Renee filled Bruno's mind with? Drink this, don't eat that. This brings good luck, that brings bad, day in and day out. Even if he said he didn't believe a word of it, who knows how much his subconscious was absorbing? He was very old and vulnerable. So could Renee have caused Bruno to have that fatal heart attack? There's not a doubt in my mind she could indeed.
Guess I'll be running along.
I've enjoyed our conversation immensely.
Yeah, just sit back, relax, accuse people of murder. That's the New Orleans way, I guess.
Yeah. That's how we roll.
I'm the body switch once more.
Hello? Hi, Nance. Okay, here's what's been happening at my end.
So I did my hair, and I got and I brushed, and I bought so many wonderful...
And that's pretty much it.
Good work. I'll take it from here. Thanks again.
Good luck. Bye.
Alright, well, time to accuse her of murder.
Yeah,
Alright.
Hello again.
I understand you murdered.
I understand that Dr. Bolet had
Well,
some
you got the
interesting
understand
pets, like an iguana.
That man never met a creature he didn't like. He'd train them to do all kinds of silly tricks, then let them run free, inside the house as well as out.
This was the dangerous
Do you know how he went about training them?
I surely do not. Don't get me wrong. I liked Dr. Bolet, I truly did. But I swear, sometimes his activities made as much sense to me as bathing in a bayou full of gators.
Okay.
This is how...
Did Dr. Bolet ever say anything to you about a crystal skull? He may have referred to it as the Whisperer.
Did he refer
No,
to it enough
he never
to
so much as
kill?
mentioned a crystal skull,
Maybe he
whispering or
mentioned a
otherwise.
refrigerator, a nuclear explosion?
Right. Aliens. Did he mention aliens?
Were you in the house when Dr. Bolet passed away?
I was indeed. I was in the library cleaning when all of a sudden I heard a big thump. I hurried out to investigate, and sure enough, there was Dr. Bolet lying by the front door. And as I rushed over to him, the door opened and in walked Gilbert Buford. He took one look at Dr. Bolet and hollered at me to call 911. So I ran back into the library and did just that. When I came back out, Gilbert was leaning over Dr. Bolet, listening for breathing, I suppose. And then he started pushing up and down on his chest. But it was too late. Even I could tell that Dr. Bolet was gone.
What were we talking about?
How was it that Gilbert was able to just walk right in like that?
As you yourself discovered, people around here seldom lock their front doors during the day.
It's not like the South is
But you know,
filled with
in
crime.
the back of my mind, I have always wondered about Gilbert Buford showing up at the door at that exact moment.
I'll leave you up
I'll
to
leave
your
you to your
murder,
potting.
plotting.
Come see me
plotting.
anytime.
Horrible.
Alright, well,
Ask about that iguana.
I heard that you make love to iguanas. Is that true?
Wow.
Yes?
What?
I'll
You
let
never
you get
have
back
any
to
options.
work.
You suck.
Sounds good.
So what now? Do we ask Ned about raising iguanas?